I'm Chris Salter. I'm the board of Cognition Life Science, and I'm here with Dr. Jessica Fish. And we're going to talk about the 3 C's: Colorado, cannabis, and cognition. Dr. Jessica Fish, may we know a little bit more about your background and why you came to Colorado?
So I came to Colorado originally because I loved the open mentality and the openness to new ideas that is harbored here. Whether it is health related and people who accept the idea that you're responsible for your own health and you must take, do steps to maintain your health, or if it was also the idea that cannabis is an acceptable form of either recreation or medical therapies. I just love the idea that people are open here to new ideas.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as you explored this, one of the things that I found interesting on the medical side was the blends that they're doing. It's not just cannabis. They actually are being very precise and blending with different other natural substances.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, Cognition Life Sciences is really focused on that and ways to enhance maybe some of those aspects or combine them. Have you seen, as you're looking as an internal observer in the medical field at the use of cannabis and all the different things, what have you seen here in Colorado?
I think that there's been a lot of advances to the combination of cannabis with other natural substances, and I think it's really limitless what the potential is for this, because it's only recently been legalized and we've only recently started doing research on it. There's applications that could be very widespread that we're not even thinking about yet.
I'm personally stunned at the richness of this plant's, capabilities in all kinds of fields. I mean, and then when you combine it with these different things, and you're able to, it's proving to be very potent and very useful, right? And so I'm glad it's finally out of the closet, so to speak. In terms of the disorders that you see most often, one of the leading things that we're doing with Cognition Life Sciences is in the sleep disorders, right? So sleep apnea and insomnia. Do you even, of course, pain interferes with sleep, but in those areas, what have you seen in terms of your clientele and the people that you deal with? Are those big problems? Are they things that you think this can help?
Absolutely. Sleep is one of those really big issues that a lot of people have. That there's not a really great way to deal with yet. As far as the medical community and their approach of pharmaceutical drugs, they are very effective, but people get addicted very easily.
Right.
So it just turns into this, it's not really fixing the problem, it's really putting a Band-Aid on it every single night. And eventually your liver is going to suffer from that because it's the filter of the body, and every medication that we take is having some effect on your liver.
And addiction.
And addiction, of course. And as far as my scope of practice, where I use more of the supplements and natural things, there's not quite anything out there yet that really is effective. I would say of the sleep patients that I have, maybe 20% find relief with these more these more supplement based things. Granted, I think pain has a lot to do with sleep also, so there's also addressing that in addition. But more of these that show up as more of these brain function kind of things, there's not anything natural out there that really works.
What I found interesting, what drew me to Cognition Life Sciences, was the unique delivery method and really being able to be very precise in the dosages, and that way being able to use much lower doses to get really effective stuff. And then the blends are very interesting in how surprisingly effective they are. It's almost like the cannabis is almost an enhancer of the other capabilities, and vice versa. And that blend, it's like steel. It's an alloy, right? Those alloys, almost natural alloys, are really proven to be surprisingly effective, and they're in stage 3 of clinical trials on several of these blends, and it's very interesting research, I think. But I'm curious about, you're in integrative medicine, correct? Right. So you're always looking for some kind of combination that will actually address the health on a holistic level. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Can you talk to me about how you see cannabis fitting into that?
Well, like any of the other supplements that I have in my office, cannabis is another one of these wonderful things that nature has provided us.
Right.
It's just in the past, 150 years that there's been this stigma about it, and it's
Right.
been illegal. But I think really now that we have the opportunity to study it and we have the opportunity to break it apart and see what it can do, that's where the limitlessness of it is coming in. And I'm really excited to see how it develops in the next 15, 20 years.
Right. And I was surprised, in a way, even though we had to wait so long, now we've got tools like genetic marking, so you can enhance things, you can see, you can measure so many more things. So I think a lot of things are happening really quickly that are, we're finding out a lot quickly, and it's like this treasure trove that this organic product had that we didn't know. So in terms of helping us move forward in terms of finding and testing these new next gen level products, can you share with us why you were attracted to work with us?
I think the opportunity is the most attractive point. Once you get past the idea that it's not legal in all 50 states and that it's not federally legal yet or whatever, and get past that idea, it really opens up to a whole new field of potential. And sleep is one aspect. I know that pain is another aspect that you guys look at very often, which is another huge problem in this country, is the opioid use and abuse, and then all of the syndromes that are occurring because of the overuse of opioids.
Yeah.
So even if they could find a good relief for some of, even 20% of the people on opioids, could find something that would get them out of that cycle of having to continue taking medication.
At least have an alternative to try, right? Because
So that's one other option at least.
for many people, they feel like it's opioids or pain, and that's really not true anymore. And that's where we're really optimistic that 20% would be a fantastic reduction. I'm even more optimistic over time as people see this, and I think the stigma with the opiates will increase as that people know, hey, there's other ways to do this, and you don't have to go that way.
And hopefully the stigma with cannabinoids also decreases.
I think it'll invert.
Yeah.
I think people will be like, hey, do something natural. Don't use that, right? Hopefully, we'll see. And in terms of the place of how this fits into your integrated practice, obviously this is all new for everybody, right? And you'll be basically at the forefront seeing our research and where we are, and we're going to depend on you also to give us your feedback from the field, to just say, well, this is working, that's, this is the way I would approach that, here's how it should be introduced. Things like that are very important to us, because lab testing is one thing, clinical trials, all that stuff, but you are, I sense, a very hands-on kind of doctor, that you're really looking at the person holistically and can come in and give us some feedback and suggestions on the best way to, nothing is a one-stop solution.
Absolutely.
But if you can help us learn how to best integrate this for the wellness of people and do that effectively, we'll be extremely grateful.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks very much.
You're
This was
welcome.
great.